It's you that's depending on you to succeed. It's your family who's depending on you to succeed. It's your friends who might be depending on you to succeed. And it's your employees who are depending on you to succeed. So it's a little bit of pressure, a lot of bit of pressure to succeed, because now you have more people who are depending on the company to continue succeeding. Hey friends, welcome back to our channel. My name is Lynn Allure. If you are new here, hi, hello, welcome. On this channel, we talk a lot about self-improvement, personal development, personal finances, and overall just being a better you. So if you enjoy conversations like that, definitely subscribe and join the party. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about the pros and cons of entrepreneurship. Oftentimes on the internet, we are always seeing people glamorizing entrepreneurship, and don't get me wrong, this is not a video for me to be like, ooh, what was me? I'm an entrepreneur. No, I absolutely love entrepreneurship and I love everything that it has granted me. I'm so grateful and so thankful for everything that I've been blessed with. But I think that a lot of times people don't actually pull back the curtains and talk about the real deal Holyfield when it comes to entrepreneurship and all of the cons that come along with the pros. You know, you'll be seeing the people with their flashy Lamborghini, their flashy Ferraris, and doing, you know, their empty condo tours. Guilty. And although I do love to show you guys the pros and show you guys everything that I love about entrepreneurship and everything I love about being financially independent, I just want to be transparent with you guys and let you know that it is a lot of work. And this is why it's necessary to have an entire process before you make that transition from being an employee to being your own boss full time. So I'm going to show you guys 10 pros and cons, 5 pros and 5 cons of entrepreneurship. I also want to make it very clear that there is absolutely nothing wrong with having a job. There's nothing wrong with being employed, having a 9-to-5 job, having a salary, or having a paycheck coming in consistently. It's a beautiful blessing. Having a job is not something to be ashamed of, and there's nothing wrong with that. Also, being your own boss full time and being an entrepreneur is nothing to be ashamed of, or there's nothing wrong with that either. And then there's nothing wrong with having a job, but then also having a side hustle that turns into your main hustle. So for me, I made the transition from being a project accountant and working in accounting and finance primarily 9-to-5 full time to being a full-time online entrepreneur. And I did this over a transitional period. I learned so much in this time. Sometimes the memes, they seem so glamorous. Look at me and my 9-to-5 job. If someone comes with their Lamborghini and says, hey, I made $100,000 in my first month of sales and you could do it too, and this is how you do it. People glamorize entrepreneurship, and trust me, it is glamorous. It's beautiful. I love it. But there are some cons that come with it. Let's get into the video. So first things first, I'm gonna say, press that like button if you haven't already, because it really helps with these videos and it helps with the YouTube algorithm a lot. So if you haven't already, hit that like button for your girl. First, we're gonna get into the cons. The first con of entrepreneurship is that if you're a solopreneur, sometimes it can become a very isolating career choice, especially if you don't have any other friends or family or people around you who understand what it is that you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, and where you're trying to go. It could just be a completely isolated process, and you kind of feel like you are on your own. No one understands what you're going through. Your friends, your family, they all have a different mindset. So it's really important to have people around you who understand what it is that you're trying to go through. But until you find those groups of people that understand what it is that you are doing with your life, or understand your entrepreneurial struggles and entrepreneurial pros and cons, then you're kind of just thugging it out on your own, and it can be a pretty isolating experience initially. Con number 2, the pressure. The responsibility is all on you. Okay, knowing that everything falls on you, the responsibility falls on you, that pressure can sometimes be daunting. It can sometimes cause a bit of anxiety, and quite frankly, sometimes it can become a little crippling. It can add a little bit of fear to whatever fears you already have, just knowing that everything can come crashing down at any moment and it all falls on you. Even when you hire someone, you're still responsible for what they do. As an employee, what you do, your boss is still responsible for. So as an entrepreneur, even when you hire someone, you're still responsible for their outputs on behalf of your company. You're still responsible for their experience that they have while working for you. You want to make sure that they have a pleasant experience experience while working for you. You're also responsible for the future of the company to ensure that they're able to continue working for you because now you're responsible for their income. So you want to make sure that the business is still successful because now you're not the only one dependent on the success of the company. It's you that's depending on you to succeed. It's your family who's depending on you to succeed. It's your friends who might be depending on you to succeed. And it's your employees who are depending on you to succeed. So it's a little bit of pressure, a lot of bit of pressure to succeed because now you have more people who are depending on the company to continue succeeding. If you worked for a small business during this pandemic and this lockdown, just know that a lot of small business owners were fighting to keep their employees employed. Like, it's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of responsibility, but you have to take it on, and it comes with the territory. The next con is that sometimes as an entrepreneur, you can get caught in the execution of your business versus the strategy. As an entrepreneur, you want to ultimately be an owner of a company versus self-employed. So being self-employed is literally one step above being employed at another company. You want to ultimately be able to step out of your business and work on your business and not in your business, especially in the initial stages. There's always something to do in business. There's never downtime. You ultimately end up hurting yourself because you try to do everything, but you can't do it effectively unless you delegate to people. And the process of delegating tasks is also a task of its own. So it becomes a little bit of a cyclical process where you're like, I can't do this all on my own. I need help, but I need to find the time to find help so that I can get it done, because I on my own am not going to be able to get it done. But in order for me to get someone to help me, I need to take time away from the things that I already needed to do that are critical in order to get someone to help me out. It can kind of become that hamster on a wheel, but yeah, you ultimately have to find time to take away so that you can effectively hire the right person so that you have a team. You need to build a team because you cannot do it by yourself. And you don't want to be self-employed, you want to be a boss and you want to be an owner of a company and be able to support your team in the way that they need to be supported. But you can't do it by yourself, and you're gonna need help to do it. The next con is work-life balance. Whew. Like I said, in business, there's always something to do. Unlike a 9-to-5 or an employment job, there are no set hours. It isn't 9 to 5 with an hour lunch break and then you take a little bit of breaks here. You go to the water cooler to have some conversation with your coworkers. Like, it isn't that. There's always something to do in business. Sometimes you wake up and the first thing on your mind is working on your business. And then you continue to work, you continue to work, you continue to work, until the end of the day comes and you're like, damn, all I did today was work all day. That is crazy. And the craziest part about it is sometimes you're not even done at the end of the day. So you're gonna wake up tomorrow and do it all over again. You kind of have to find the time to have work-life balance because you're gonna drive yourself crazy working nonstop and not feeding yourself and pouring back into your cup. You don't want to pour from an empty cup. You can't pour from an empty cup. So you have to find time to pour back into your cup and do things for yourself, but finding that time sometimes can be a little bit of a struggle. The next con is the finances. This is a bit of a pro and a con, but I'm gonna be talking about the initial stages of entrepreneurship. In the very initial stages, those finances are not stable. They are not steady. Most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, those finances are not stable, and you need to reinvest a lot of the money that you make right back into the business. So in the beginning, you're doing a lot of work for delayed gratification, okay? You're gonna be working and grinding and you're making money, but you gotta put some of that money back into the company. And this is why it's really important to make that transition from having a job to being your own boss full time. You don't just wake up one day because some memes gassed you up, some internet guru gassed you up and said, you can make $100,000 next week if you just read my ebook. If you just buy my course, you're gonna become a millionaire by next month. Quit your job. No, okay, no, don't quit your job. Keep your day job and make that transition. Transition from being an employee to being your own boss full time. I promise you, it's one of the least stressful processes. It's really calm. You get to take your time into getting into entrepreneurship. You get to maintain your same lifestyle. Oh, it's beautiful. I would recommend someone who's interested in being their own boss to make a transition as opposed to just quitting your job ASAP. That's my recommendation. And that is the fifth con of entrepreneurship. In the initial stages, it's gonna be very unstable, unpredictable finances, and from the money that you do make, you need to reinvest some of that money back into the company. All right, so now that we have our 5 cons out the way, we're gonna talk about the 5 pros of entrepreneurship that I have personally experienced and I really enjoyed. Now, this is my experience and others might have their own, but I am gonna talk from my experience. So number 1, we're gonna talk about the freedom and the flexibility. Whoa, this one is major. When I was working a 9-to-5 job, I needed to be on someone else's schedule. I needed to request vacation time. I needed to request sick days. I needed to call in and tell somebody, I'm feeling sick today. Is it okay if I stay home? There was just less freedom. Now that I'm a full-time entrepreneur, I get to choose when and where I work from, especially the fact that I work from the internet. As long as I have Wi-Fi, I can work. So if I wanted to hop on a flight today to go visit my cousin in New York, I could do that. If I wanted to go visit my cousin in the UK, I could do that. If I wanted to go visit my cousins in Ghana, I could do that right now if I wanted to. As long as I have my computer and I have my Wi-Fi, I can still work and I could still get things done. So I absolutely love the freedom and flexibility that it's provided for me. I can go visit my mom when I want to. She's only about a 25-minute drive from me. I can go visit her whenever I want to. I can create my own schedule. I can hang out with my friends when I want to. During the day, some of my friends are available during the day and we get to hang out. So I love the freedom and flexibility that entrepreneurship grants for me. It's irreplaceable. Another pro is if you choose the right industry to get into, it'll be so much fun. It'll be super fulfilling and it won't even feel like work. What I do for an income doesn't feel like work. YouTube doesn't feel like work. Good Girls Gone Boss doesn't feel like work. My hair extension company doesn't feel like work. Yes, there are aspects of it that are very strenuous and I'm like, oh my God, I have to complete this. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. There are aspects of it that are stressful, but a majority of what I do, I would 100% do for free. If money wasn't a topic, if money wasn't an object, I would still want to create videos for the fun of it. I would still want to empower other people for the fun of it. I would still do my mentorship program with Good Girls Gone Boss. I would still be interested in hair extensions. So I do what I love, and that's one of the biggest pros about entrepreneurship is that you get to create and do more of what you love, for who you love, with who you love. It's just a whole lot of love. In the description bar, there is a little guide that helps you to figure out what your perfect business idea is. If you haven't already figured it out and you're looking for an industry or you're trying to narrow down the thought process, there is a link down below for a little guide that'll help you to find the perfect idea, perfect business idea for you. So you can click that link down below and an email with the guide will be sent over to you. So the third pro is self-actualization. If we're talking Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you become the best version of yourself when you're an entrepreneur. I'm not saying you can't when you're working for somebody else. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying as an entrepreneur, you definitely reach that top level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs and you gain self-actualization. You learn so much about yourself. You learn so much about business. You just learn so much. It's kind of crazy. I feel like I am the best version of myself right now. It's wild. I know that there's so much more for me to accomplish. I don't even know where I'm gonna end up because I know that there's so much more that I want that I don't even know exists yet, but I want it anyways. And there's way more for me to accomplish. But me as I am today, I'm so proud of who I am. I feel like I am my best self. I am the best version of myself. I'm living my best life. I'm living my dream life. And I think a large part of it has to do with the fact that I'm doing something that I feel fulfilled doing and I'm still making an income and I still have love and belonging in my life. You know what? I think your girl done reached. I just feel whole. Now, don't get me wrong. You learn a lot on the job as well. And that's one of the things that are so dope about being an employee. You kind of get paid to be present and learn about the corporate world. But when you're an entrepreneur and you work for yourself, there are things that you are forced to learn. You learn so much about business, about yourself. You develop into your highest version of self and it's unreal. The amount of information that you're forced to process and learn about yourself, about business, there's no amount of money that you can match up to that. It's invaluable. There's no monetary amount that you can place on learning about yourself, learning about business, learning about what you care for and who you do it for. Who I've become now because I'm in business is just something I could have only dreamed of, really. And it's crazy because now I'm living my dream life and learning about myself, learning about other people, learning about my audience and how I can serve them better, learning about sales funnels and marketing and leveraging your business to make it work for you. It's just so much learning, and I'm a learning junkie. So the fact that you learn so much about yourself and about your audience, your family, your community online is just, it's something unreal. I absolutely love it, and it's one of the biggest blessings that come with entrepreneurship. The next pro of entrepreneurship is you get to reap what you sow. Your grind, your drive, your hustle is directly correlated to how much money you make, and the earning potential is limitless, especially when you really tap into creating systems and marketing and having your money work for you. Mind-boggling, limitless. There is no cap on the amount of money that you can make, the amount of money that you can earn. It's crazy. And of course, there are different industries where this applies to as well, where you make money off of sales or commissions. But with entrepreneurship, you are the bottom line. If there's a super busy time in sales, given your model stays the same, you're probably making way more money. Look at Amazon, for example. You know, when people were on lockdown and everyone was ordering way more on Amazon, who was benefiting? Jeff Bezos, okay? And then also you take that money, you take it, you flip it, you reverse it, you turn it into more money. Money flows in. When you're your own boss, the earning potential is limitless. The fifth great thing about entrepreneurship is that you own something. No one can come and just take it away from you at any time. You own your business. You're able to sell your business. You're able to pass it down to generations. You're able to franchise it out. You own it, and that's an amazing, beautiful thing. So since we're talking about passing it on, another pro that I guess could fall under this is the ability to teach other people. Once you have a business and you're able to unlock a freedom in your life that not a lot of people are aware of, it's such a beautiful feeling to be able to teach other people how to do the same thing. It's so fulfilling. You gain so much appreciation for life, gratitude. It's just an amazing feeling that you can't put into words. Once you're able to do something amazing for yourself and teach other people how to do that too, it's I can't even explain it. I'm getting like goosebumps, honestly, just talking about it, because it's so beautiful to be able to help people and empower people, and at the same time still help yourself and empower yourself. So yeah, those are my pros and cons about entrepreneurship. If you are a boss as well, if you're an entrepreneur, you're making that transition, I would love to know down below in the comments what your experience is and what one pro and one con is that you would acknowledge. I would love to know. I'd love to know down below. So yes, that is it for today's video. I love you guys so much. Love you to the moon and back. Be true to you. Bye.